Okay, we're in Mishnah Berurah Siman Safkuf Nun Vav on Tisha Bav. The title of the Siman is Tisha Bav Shachal B'Yom Rishonu Bo Sif Echad. Tisha Bav that falls out on Sunday and it has one sif. That's today, by the way. Tisha Bav that falls on Sunday, because if Tisha Bav falls on Sunday, or if it's a nidche, aka Tisha Bav Shachal Dios B'Shabbos, and then Tisha Bav itself is held on Sunday, so a lot of the dinim are similar. And the ones that are going to discuss in this siman are similar. Sif Aleph. Vel Tisha Bav Shechal Be'echad B'Shabbos. The night of Tisha Bav, which falls out on Sunday, the first of the week, which is Sunday. Kisheroa Haner Omer Borei Mereish. When you see the candle, you say Borei Mereish. This is referring to last night.
It's not Havdalah, right?
This is the Havdalah, so to say. This is Havdalah that we're supposed to do last night. We're going to learn exactly right now the pratim. We're going to learn all the details. Last night, when you see the candle, we're going to see, what does it mean when you see a candle? You're walking on the street, you see a candle? We're going to see what this means over here. Right? We have that case in Chanukah. Or in Shabbos, Chav Gimel, you see near Chanukah on a ship far away. What's the case over here? Vein mevarech al besamim. We do not make a bracha on besamim. However, on this night, last night, we don't make a bracha on besamim. Kama. What about tonight? How do we conduct ourselves with the Havdalah? A lot of shaylas from this that came directly from the siman over the past few weeks. Even 3 weeks ago, someone asked, how do we do Havdalah after Shabbos and Tisha B'Av? Talk about advance. Usually you don't get that advance. 3 weeks ago, it's preparing early. Gotta know what to do. Right, Shloshim Yom Kodim, right? Ubelel Motzi Tisha B'Av. What about on the night after Tisha B'Av? That's what we call what? Tonight, Sunday night. So Mavdil ala kos. What we do is we do Havdalah on a kos. We're going to see a kos of what? A cup of what in it? Could you have grape juice? Could you have wine? So we'll see. We do not make the bracha not on the ner and not on the besamim. Now the ner that we don't make a bracha isn't such a chiddush, because we already made the bracha on the ner Motzi Shabbos. We made it last night. Lo besamim is a chiddush. We don't make it on besamim. So we'll see where that comes from. So let's see the Mishnah Berurahs now. Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Aleph Di Hamas Kol Kisheroa Haner. When you see the candle, Dezeh Ein Ta'un Kos, because this does not require a cup. Meaning the ner doesn't require a cup. Me'lim Kain, you can make the bracha. A kos is a different zach, because if it's ta'un kos, you need to drink from that, and you can't drink from it Motzei Shabbos, aka once it's already an Isser Zman Achila for Tisha B'Av, which kicked in already by Shkia.
Why do you need a drink? It's ta'un kos.
Well, what are you going to do? You're going to make a bracha, not going to drink from it?
Give it to a kid.
There's no such concept ever.
What is that concept?
So we'll come to that in a sec. There's no such concept ever where we make a bracha on a kos and we don't drink from it. There's no place. There's no place. So you give it to a kid. So it's brought down. So the Derish Mishnah Berurah brings that down. Why can't you give it to a kid? So they basically say, like the Rosh at the end of Meseches Yuma Ati LeMisrach. It's pretty much what they say. Kids are going to get used to it, and it's not an appropriate thing on Tisha B'Av, and we don't give it to a kid. And it's different than if you have a bris milah that is shechal lihios b'Tisha B'Av. If you have a bris that falls out on Tisha B'Av, that's different, where you would give it to a kid. This is what the Dershi brings. You would give it to a kid, or the mother of the kid, which doesn't have a chiyuv to fast because she's mishtamah, she's very weak, which is usually the case. So, what do you mean who's making the bracha? Whoever makes the bracha. Just because someone makes a bracha doesn't mean that they have to drink from it. Right? You could give it to someone else. We found that concept in Kiddush and Shul Friday night. Siman Reish Samach Tes, before Halachos Kiddush really starts. He doesn't drink from it because it's not Makam Suda, so it's the same exact idea over here. So that's why you can't give it to the kid over here.
Right. Yeah. Question on the next part.
Okay, let's go a little weiter. So that's when it comes to the kos. Now, ve'ein bazeh mishum tanug kemo sheish b'mesamim. The ner, when you make the bracha b'reim ra'ish, it's not considered tanug. It's not considered pleasurable.
But isn't that what?
Pleasurable. Let's see.
You hold your hands up to it.
Kemo, just like sheish b'mesamim, just like a pleasure that you get from besamim. What does this mean? It's not pleasure, like besamim. So it's the Sha'ar Tzion over here. Let's go down to the Sha'ar Tzion. The Sharetz Yun over here in Sifkat and Aleph, Meloshan Taz, Mashma Desfir Lei, the Ein Lahariach Bebesamen B'Tisha Bav Mishum Tanik. From the wording of the Taz, it's implied that he holds that one is not allowed to smell Besamim on Tisha Bav because of pleasure. Now this Taz is a massive chiddush, because on Yom Kippur, right, it's even brought down in Simin Mem Vov, Brachos, when it comes to Meya Brachos. What do? You take an esrog, you stick some besamim, and there you make the bracha on that, on Yom Kippur. Comes out that to feed this Taz, Tisha B'Av is going to be more machmir than Yom Kippur.
Why? Because you're allowed to do something on Tisha on
Yom Kippur you are. But over here you can't because it's a Tanug. Maybe the Taz would hold it's Avelis. I didn't look up the Taz, but the Sharetz Yon's quoting it. It's a chiddush in the Taz. Yom Kippur isn't the same degree of Avelis, so to say.
It has to be a chiluk. The Tanug is not because of a nuyin or whatever. It has to be something else.
Right.
It has to be. It's a different.
Could be the Avelis.
Yeah, it must be something else.
Yeah. Sharetz Yon's mamshich me'magan of Ramashma desfir leit davka b'motzi Shabbos asur mishum davi tanug lahashiv nefesh asera. The Magen Avram, it's implied that he holds that this specifically after Shabbos, it's prohibited to make a bracha on the besamim because it's going to be a tanug to return the nefesh yasera, the extra soul, right? On Shabbos we have the neshama yasera, the besamim, we smell it and it helps with that. So specifically Motzei Shabbos it's a problem. From the Gra it's implied that he holds like the Taz. The Shulchan also comments on this. So that's why the besamim comes out for two reasons. Is going to be a problem because of tanug. One is it's a gishmak when you smell it, and number two is that the neshama yasera.
So what do they say about Yom Kippur then?
What about Yom Kippur?
Why we have besamim on that?
Why we have besamim on Yom Kippur?
Because they're the
neshama
yasera,
There's no
right?
against Tanug, I guess.
Yeah, it's not the same level, and you need brachos. That's what it's brought down. It's a chiddush. Yeah. Which notes? Yeah, which one? Number two? Oh, here. So they bring over here in the Dirshu and the new one in footnote 2, the Mishnah Berurah Vayter in Simin Safkov Nun Tes Sifkat and Chav Zayin says that you don't bring besamim to a bris milah that falls out in Tisha B'Av, since you should be memayit and tanugim as much as possible. Well, it's not there.
Why would you think to bring besamim instead?
Why would you think to bring besamim at a bris? Yeah, who brings besamim at a bris? Well, Sifkat and Chav Zayin. Let's see what he says over there. Who bring? I know Pidyon Aben, but that's not even besamim. That's.
So in case you thought you wanted to bring it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Oh, so over there. So let's go over there. So the Shulchan Aruch says, "Umevarchin birchos amila below besamim." The Shulchan Aruch says you make it without besamim. So Mishnah Berurah says, "Af shetamim gam came eviim besamim mila." Even though we usually never bring besamim to a bris, anyways. The Mishnah Berurah says, "Mikol makom sarich leshmiyanu." The Shulchan Aruch over here needs to go out of his way and tell us the kayom gam came eviim. Now we don't bring. Vafuke coming to exclude the sheet of the Gaonim, who hold that hayoim emevim kos lebracha afilu tinok and levim besamim makom kos bracha. Some Gaonim hold you don't bring a kos, you bring besamim instead of the kos kamash malan. That we don't do that because in Tisha B'Av you need to be mamayit with tanugim. So that's why you would think. So the shittas of Gaonim out there that hold that you don't have a kos, you have besamim that you bring instead kamash malan. You don't bring the besamim.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah. I know someone, one of my old chavrusas, a few years ago, what was it, 2-3 years ago, Hassan al-Vogel. So he had a baby boy, him and his wife, and it was, the bris was Chalios bi Yom Kippur. They fell out on Yom Kippur. So it's a similar, we were talking about a bris on Tisha B'Av. So what you do is Yom Kippur is different. Okay, let's not go into Halachos Yom Kippur, what we did over there. We had the Suda, the break fast, so to say. It's after Yom Kippur. Okay, Sifkat and Aleph, let's go weiter. It's Yom Kippur, you gotta stay focused, just Halachos Tisha Bav.
But the Eish, why is that not Tanug?
So why is the Eish not Tanug?
Shouldn't you hold that?
Because why would it be Tanug?
Oh, this is you hold your hands
What,
up
with the
to
fingers?
it to get Tanug to get.
That's not necessarily Tanug. We hold our hands over there because our fingernails show the growth, constantly growing. So we want to grow in a physical, spiritual way. Other reasons also. You should get benefit from the light because you're making a bracha on it. It's at the same degree of hana.
Where does that come down from? The physical and the spiritual growth?
That's what the Mishnah Berurah brings in Halachos of Tisha Bav. And it's in Reish Sadi Ches area over there. And it has earlier sources in the Mishnah Berurah, but he brings it. Yeah. I think the Kahati also in the Mishnayos and Brachos, Eich Perek brings it. Okay, let's continue. Sifkat on Aleph. It's not the same. So why is the Ner not Tanag? It's not being Meishiv the Neshama Yisera, and it's not the same type of Gishmak, so to say. Okay, V'yavarach alo or Koidim Shekayrin Eicha. You make the bracha on B'rimei Eish before we lay in Eicha. Why? The Be'eicha Ksiv, because in Eicha the pasuk says, Be ma chashkim hoshivani. In darkness you placed me. And therefore you make the bracha first on B'rimei Eish, meaning before Eicha. V'gam yehaneh, he calls it Hana. He doesn't call it Tanag though. There's between Hana and Tanag, there it is. So it is Hana. You get pleasure from it. V'gam yehaneh achar kach me'oru kishkor neicha. You also get pleasure from it afterwards, from the light, when you lay neicha. That's just before you lay neicha, because you usually put it out. Oh, now let's say you forgot to make it last night. Someone tell me they didn't make it last night here. Oh, okay. Let's say you forgot to make it. So could we make it right now if you forgot? You make the bracha afterwards at night, since the obligation right now is upon you.
You're talking about before Eicha. If you forgot before Eicha, then you do it after.
Yeah, you do it after Eicha, correct. Now, what's the Geder B'Davar? 3:30 in the morning, you make the bracha?
Nothing new.
Yeah, why not?
If you had intent.
Why not?
What about if you had intent?
What does this mean? Mishnah Berurah says, Yavarach achar b'layla. Make the bracha afterwards at night if you didn't do it before Eicha. When's the last moment I can make this bracha?
Alos Hashanah?
Alos?
Chatzos.
Chatzos? What?
First Mishnah in Shas.
Okay, well that's different. It's Shah. So Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach in the Halachos Shlomo, he's on this. It's in Perek Tezvav, if I'm not mistaken, in the Tezvav Yadalid, and it's brought in the footnote. I think the Orchos Halacha that they asked this: is it exactly Chatzos? Shlomo Zalman said, as long as it's still dark outside, you get a shtickle hana, you can make the bracha. Once it's after that time, you lost it. So right now, Vadi, you can't make it. You lost it. That's the teretz. Okay, let's go weiter. Sifkat and Beis, Belel Motzi. She's going on the Machaber that said, on the night of Tisha Bav, so that's going to be tonight, in around, 6 hours, Berach. So tonight, we make the bracha on a kos. Ubelel Tisha Bav Mavdu B'Tfilah. On the night of Tisha Bav, we make Havdalah in Shmona Esrei. This is last night. This is referring to Motzei Shabbos. Right? We say Atachon and Tanu. And even though we're not able to make Havdalah right then, on a kos still we make it in Shmona Esrei. If you made a mistake then, and you do not do Havdalah in Shmona Esrei, don't worry, you still do not need to go back. Like the usual case of if you forgot Havdalah in Shmona Esrei Motzei Shabbos. Since you're going to make Havdalah on a kos on Motzei Tisha Bav, that's why you don't need to go back.
Oh, wow.
Now, what about women? The Hanashim, and we're going to discuss this more in depth when we finish this Sifkat and Hay in the Mishnah Berurah. The Hanashim she'inan yodos lispalel v'lo hivdilu b'motzei Shabbos atfilah. Women that do not know how to daven and they do not do Havdalah Motzei Shabbos in Shmona Esrei. Pashtus, this line means that Ma'ariv for women they were never makabel. Ma'ariv Mikra Dinis Rishus, they were never makabel, so they don't daven Ma'ariv. Shachris and Mincha they daven. Musaf also they try to. Preferably they do. It's Machlokes Achronim and the Mishnah Berurah brings. Preferably they do, but Ma'ariv they don't. So therefore, since they didn't have do Havdalah, of course, if they have kids, v'chulu, then they're swarmed regular davening also. But Ma'ariv they don't. They didn't do it, so they didn't do Havdalah in Shmona Esrei. important line for the husbands over here. Sarich kol ish lehaziron. Every single man, every single husband needs to warn them. Shebiyom hatanis lo yasu ish levasha l'sarich halayla sheyomer hamadav ben kol shachol. That on the day of the fast they should not make fire to cook with for the needs of the night until they say hamadav ben kol shachol. Means like, let's say right now they're already starting to cook for the Suda tonight. So they should make sure not to cook without saying Hamavdi ben Kol Shechol. Really nowadays, you should really, you change this Mishnah Berurah a little. Make sure that they don't get in a car Motzei Shabbos to go to Eicha until they say Baruch Hamavdi ben Kol Shechol.
So how come that's not built into the tefillah? Like, before you say Morei Aish, to say
Why is it not in the Siddur? Maybe it is in some of them.
But they say, yeah, okay.
But don't say Shem Hashem, just say Baruch Hamavdi ben Kol Shechol. Someone asked me that also.
Everyone sort of said it last night, no?
You don't say it with Shem Hashem, you just say Stam Baruch Hamavdi ben Kol Shechol.
Why is such a crazy difference?
I mean, you don't say God's name, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam. We don't do that. It's the Vatala. Yeah. Okay, let's go weiter. We're going to come out with the Klar Maskana after. You do not need to make Havdalah in Shemona Esrei since you already made Havdalah earlier, which means tonight. Tonight we don't make Havdalah in Shemona Esrei since we did it last night. Even if you forgot yesterday to make Havdalah in Shemona Esrei, let's say last night you forgot and you didn't make Havdalah. So the halacha is Gam Kain Nira De'in Tzarich Ata Lahavdil B'Tefillah. It also appears that you do not need right now to make Havdalah in Shemona Esrei. So right now as well, we would not make Havdalah in Shemona Esrei tonight, even if you forgot last night, you don't. Why? Shekvar Chalaf Shaisa. Because the hour already was Chalaf, it already passed, exchanged. It passed. The Sagi Mamashi Havdalah Ala Kos, and it is enough, it's sufficient that which we will make Havdalah right now on the Kos. Before we go weiter in the Sifkat, let's speak out a note. Let's speak out a note which is very important for, I think, we got 4 married people around over here right now. So you can tell this to your wives if, they're the type of individual that gets super hungry after a tainus and mamish can't wait. So there's a leniency, so to say, or is there a leniency? That the Dirshu brings down in footnote 8. Isha shakasha law in the new Dirshu. Mibnei choleshes hasom lahamtid b'moitzi Tisha Bav. V'shachal achar Shabbos. Let's say you have a woman, it's very difficult, she's weak, it's very difficult for her to fast and to wait on Motzi Tisha Bav, meaning tonight, and in the case Shachal achar Shabbos, which fell after Shabbos, in this exact case. Ad shabai l'yachzor mebeis hakneses v'yavdil. She can't necessarily, it's very painful for her to wait the additional 20 minutes, whatever it is, for her husband to return from the yeshiva, from shul, and to make Havdalah. So could she now make her own Havdalah and then eat? Because you're not allowed to eat before Havdalah. We know that from the Halachos of Havdalah. So what's the din in this case?
You mean because you ate so much on Shabbos?
What do you mean?
Like, as opposed to the weekday?
Oh yeah, why do they say exactly the case Shechal Achar Shabbos? Maybe it's 2
Maybe
days.
yesterday, there's like right after Shabbos, they went right into Eicha, so the guy can take a long time to get back. I personally get back. I was
No, this isn't referring to last night. This is referring to tonight.
Tonight? Oh.
Tonight, because last night you can't
You
eat.
usually don't have to wait till Havdalah.
What?
Usually you don't wait till Havdalah. Usually you just eat when the fast ends.
That's the kasha.
Yeah, it's
So-
a lag. It's an extra half hour.
So that's the kasha, because usually when it comes to regular case of Halachos of Havdalah, okay, I come home from Marv, I didn't make Havdalah yet. Can I eat? What? No, I can't eat. It's before Havdalah, right? So the question is, in this case, she didn't hear Havdalah yet. It's Havdalah from Shabbos and Tisha Bav, right? We do tonight. We're going to make it on Halachos and we're going to say Havdalah. So could she eat before Havdalah? She may. But does she need to wait an additional 20 minutes for her husband? What, she needs to wait?
No, that's leniency. You said there's leniency.
I said leniency? So what should she do? Leniency that she makes her own Havdalah or she eats a little without Havdalah?
But she made her Havdalah, Hamavdil, not
She has to
before.
hear Havdalah.
Make her own.
She makes her own?
You can't go without Havdalah.
You can't go without Havdalah. It's not so simple. Making her own Havdalah, she
What is
chayiv
it?
in
What do
Havdalah.
you mean by making her Havdalah? She already said Baruch Hamavdil, not before.
She said Baruch Hamavdil. Now she's going to make it ala kos and she's going to say the actual Havdalah.
Yeah, let her go for
give her
it.
the food.
Let her go for it.
Food without Havdalah?
Yeah,
No
she's a
way.
woman.
Give me the
She's way
svaras.
wrong about that.
She's a woman. Let's speak out the svaras. So he says like this. So Rav Elyashiv says she can make Havdalah on her own. That's what Rav Elyashiv says. Yechoy lahavdil atma. If Mama she's weak, she can make Havdalah on her own. Why is that a chiddush?
What?
It's a chiddush for the following reason. She makes Havdalah on her own. It's a chiddush for the following reason. The Mishnah Brura Paskins in Halachos of Tisha Simin Reish Sadi Vav Sifches that a woman should not make Havdalah on her own. Ella, rather she should listen to the Havdalah from a man. That's what the Mishnah Brura Paskins. Regular case of Havdalah on a Motzi Shabbos. We're not sure if women are chayiv in Havdalah or not. You look at that sif, you'll get all the svaras. Better not to learn it on Tisha Bav, but you look at that sif after Tisha Bav, you'll get all the svaras. Exactly what's going on over there. So now, since the Mishnah Brura over there writes, Sifkat Lamed Hey, that if there's no one over there that could be motzi her, she's allowed to make Havdalah on her own. Let's say she lives by herself. Or let's say her husband's on a business trip and no one can make Havdalah for her, she doesn't have neighbors, whatever. So in that case, she can make Havdalah on her own. She could be soymech on the shitas that hold that a woman's able to make Havdalah on her own. In Cain, in this type of scenario where it's kasha lahamtin, it's very difficult for her to wait, so then she can make Havdalah on her own. So it comes out that according to Rav Elyashiv, there's a massive leniency. If mama she can't wait that duration of time, she can make Havdalah on her own, and then she could eat. She's eating 15 minutes before her husband. Because it's not pashut her eating before Havdalah. Let's go mamshich on this exact point. Others say differently. The Piskei Teshuvos brings Achronim, in Oz Beis he brings. Look in the footnotes exactly who he's quoting. He says she should not make Havdalah on her own in this case. Ella, she should try to hear Havdalah from a neighbor. Now, the reason why that's not so practical is because also the neighbor, their husband's also at davening. Right? It's not practical. So what do you want to say? That the neighbor is going to be making Havdalah, the woman's going to be making Havdalah, so better to listen to her than yourself doing it? Okay, whatever the case is.
One's davening Shayosha, one's white shul.
Right? One's davening Shayosha, one's at white shul. Right? Very good, very good.
It says the Rav Elyashiv one that says this.
Rav Elyashiv is the first one. Now there's the Piskei Teshuvos. Rav Elyashiv is the cool that she can make Havdalah and eat.
Mari tonight and Isha Yisrael's at 8:40.
Oh wow, super early.
8:40, where is this?
Where's this?
Where is this?
I will be
At
there.
Isha Yisrael.
It's a good shul.
Who's davening after Seitz? Because Shai Yashav over here, they're not even davening so late. They're davening, they said
8:58.
8:58. What time is Seitz?
I think
Seitz
that's
is
it.
like 9:05, no?
They're davening right when the past 10, so I think that's good, right?
Who's davening at Seitz? I like
They're
shopping
davening
those
at
minyanim. Who's davening an actual Seitz
You
minyan?
want that?
Yeah, I want a Seitz minyan. Yeah. Yeshiva? Yeshiva Gedola? Yeshiva Gedola? Mastama. I'm gonna have to try to figure out. Okay. Whatever. Everyone's like, give me the earliest minyan. Oh, Baruch Hashem, 8:20, I'm there. You know, I'm the only one. Give me a Seitz minyan.
By the time you get
Okay.
to Shema, might be 6.
After. Okay.
Start at 9 o'clock.
Whatever, we'll figure it out. Let's go right in this note. So he says, now let's say she can't hear Havdalah from anyone. So in that case, he says a massive chiddush. She could taste a little bit without Havdalah. Assuming that when her husband's going to come home, she's going to hear the Havdalah. And then he says it's better that she should just have something very light, for example, tea or coffee without tasting actual food. That's what he wants to say. So it's a discussion exactly what to do. According to Rav Elyashiv, she makes Havdalah, she eats. And if she's mamish weak, according to the Piskei Teshuvos, if a carrot, that number one, she shouldn't really be eating to begin with, and if she needs to, she should try to chop a neighbor. If there's no neighbor, then okay, she should have the small amount she could without Havdalah. It's a discussion. Lamaisa, and this is the dubna. It's a nice dubna that comes in. I thought of this dubna over here. Dubna Magid. So they just came out with, it's called Diamonds of the Dubna Magid. It's officially on Parsha. So on Dvarim over there, on pages 392 and 393, pretty much says like this. He brings a mashal of a husband that comes home. Husband comes home late. Comes home late from the kailil he was learning. And he managed to skip dinner. He learned straight in through night seder and mariv. A regular night. I'm making up a case. This is pretty much what the Dibna says. He comes home late. He skips dinner through night seder mariv. Guy comes home after tax season and accounting, and Mamish plugging away. He barely even ate lunch either. Comes home, he's starving. And of course, we got to talk about food on a tinus. This guy's famished.
Same.
He's got to eat right now. So he says to his wife, "I'm starving. I got to eat something." The wife says, "Just wait. I'll cook something. Best meal ever. I'm going to cook it. It's going to be the best." He says, "Okay." So he goes into the room. Stama opens up a sefer in the interim. He starts learning. And after 10, 15 minutes, he says, "What's going on with the food over here? I'm starving." So she says, "Just a little bit more." So some time passes. We're almost mamish done. The wife said. So comes the Dubna Mag in the Nimshal and says, "That's what it is right now. Right now, we're waiting. We've been in Galus for a very long time. And we're waiting for Mashiach. We're ready for the binyan." Saying, "What's going on already? Look around the world, all the shtusim, the craziness that's happening. When's Mashiach going to come right now?" Hashem's telling us, you just got to wait a little bit longer. Every single tefillah, every single, all the learning, it all gets built up. It all gets built up, all of it. Even if we don't feel like we're not getting answered right now, it's all getting stored up. It's all getting built up. We got to realize that we got to be patient for Mashiach. And we've got to do whatever we could. So too, over here, the wife, if she could, she's got to be patient. Just like in the mashal before. Wait another 10, 15 minutes if she could. Right, that's a time. Okay, wait, if she mamish can't wait. Okay, that's when we apply this.
We're davening at 40, make Havdalah at 8:58.
Right. Okay, but b'derech klal, when it comes to tinus like this, that it's such a long tinus. We already haven't eaten since 8:17 yesterday. Right, the earliest we're going to be eating, wherever you daven, is no earlier than Mustama 9:07. The mamish wait another 5-10 minutes. Is it going to make such a big? It's all psychological.
Of course.
I mean, it's not 5 minutes because if you're going to 8:40 and someone's going to a 9 o'clock meeting, that's
Okay.
And then the 9 o'clock is probably also slower. It's more
They
like a half
factor in how
Okay,
fast they go.
but the Maisa, even if you go to a 9 o'clock meeting and you get back home at 9:15, 9:20, it's an extra 10 minutes or so.
40 guys back.
What did you say?
Back at 8:55.
What do you mean? You don't go home to learn and then you eat.
Wait, hold on, let's come back to that. Shia, what do you want to say?
This 40 guys
Come
make
back.
up 8:58. The guy just starting to daven.
Right, okay. The point is, Miman of Shach,
20 minutes.
you're not waiting more than like 15 minutes. It's not it's all psychological. So if she could. If not, then you apply these coolers. But they're better to wait. What were you saying with the learning, Chaim?
My brother-in-law always says after fasting he tries to learn before he eats because, I don't know.
Oh, so I'll tell you, we spoke out in the past. No, there's a Chaim of Volozhin. All right, it's brought in the Ruach Chaim on the 6 Parakavos and other places as well. That they would have people learning 24/7. It's Midrash. We quoted this when we learned Tainus over there, Gimel. That if there's 1 second without Limud HaTorah or mitzvahs, the world is going to cease to exist. So they would have intervals, all 24/7, always someone learning. So on the fast, after the fast, when everyone was running to eat, that was the shift of Rav Chaim of Volozhin himself. Rav Chaim of Volozhin learned when everyone was eating. So Chaim of Volozhin. Okay, so Bishleim, if you're a bacher in yeshiva and you want to, act very frum and say, "Oh, I'm gonna, be masagif myself more and bring myself more yisur in this kaparas of onas and learn." Okay, that's one thing. But Chaim, you listening?
I don't know if I'm listening. This is 8:58 the time. So
58. Okay, whatever it is.
that's early.
The point is what? Once you're married and you have a wife and you're going to say, "Oh, I'll just learn for half an hour on the cheshbon that I know my wife is going to be very makbid to wait for me to come." So unless your wife gave you mefurish permission to do that, I don't know when I not recommend that, but that's probably off the derech, that mahalach.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 100%. Unless you have a wife, she's like Rachel, like the wife of Rabbi Akiva. 24 years, go to the base medrash. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Okay, but Bizmanina, we don't have those for the most part. So, okay, V'etz Hashem. But derech kal, we don't have those. Right? Seriously, for let's say a Rav of a shul, a Rosh Yeshiva, the stomach they get hacked up after the tainus also. Wife knows. That's what it is.
Probably relying on the Yovel Yosef.
Oh, relying on what? Relying on the Rav Eliyashiv. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's the Inyan when learn. Just another thing when it comes to that learning after the tainus, even as a bacher, comes to learning after a tainus. My theory is just eat for 4.5 minutes and then come back. And after a tiny, you don't want to stuff yourself anyways because it's not healthy. It's good to just eat a little. And then after an hour or two later, or the next day you have more or whatever. An hour or two later even, just you don't want to put so much in your system you're not used to.
9:45, be back here.
Right, so then after if you're gonna come back night, that's why at Havamim is to have a chabur tonight in Gemara. So I let myself for it, we can talk. But the truth is, I have so much catching up to do for regular learning. So I said,
Shave tonight.
so we're gonna get to that. Actually, you might not. Tonight you could shave because it's a nidcha. You could shave. Not only that, you could get a haircut.
I don't need a haircut.
You don't need a haircut. You could do laundry tonight.
What?
You could do laundry tonight. Simin tough cup, soft cup nun ches. You could do laundry. Not it's all over. You can't have meat tonight or wine. Also, discussion. Meat or wine. Who wants meat? I don't know.
No one's having meat after a fast.
No, it's true.
I don't think I've ever had meat after a fast in my life.
Music is a shiloh. Better wait on the music. Better wait on the
It's so
music.
interesting because it's
Let's go weiter.
going to be 11th of Av.
Let's go weiter. We're in the middle right now of a Sifkatan. Sifkatan Gimel. That whole thing was one big tangent. It wasn't a tangent. It was a more Ian. It was a more Ian on this din for the women, for the wives out there. Okay. Sifkatan Gimel. Isa b'Maharil. The Maharil tells us once it got dark, he made a Bari Priya Gafen. Sifkatan Gimel. He made a Bari Priya Gafen. And he made Havdalah Imkain Mashra Shemutter L'Havdal Yain. If so, it's implied that it's actually taka permissible to make Havdalah on wine. The Mishnah Brura is saying it's mashma from the Hanhaga of the Maharil that tonight, since it's a Nidche of Tisha Bav, you could actually make Havdalah on wine. Umashma Shemutter Lishtais Ba'atmo Vein Sarach Litam Latinok. And it's implied that it's permissible for you yourself to drink it and you don't need to give it to a child. It's a Dagal Mervava. Dagal Mervava, that's Rav Yecheskel Landau, the Nodib Yehuda, the Slach. So on this is a Sharat Tzion. The Sharat Tzion Sifkat and Zayin says, Vav Shebisimin Safkof Nun Aleph Sif Yud Katzra Mashim Yishtinok Yidun Litinok. Even though that we learned earlier in Simin Safkof Nun Aleph Sif Yud that the Ramah wrote that if there's a child, give it to a child. They don't drink the wine, give it to a child. That was referring to doing the 9 days. Havdalah during the 9 days, if you could, give it to a child to drink the wine. Nevertheless, the Mishnah, the Sharat Tzion writes, quoting the Dagal Mervava, Mikol Makom Laila Zokila. This night is more lenient. Tonight is more lenient than the 9 days. So therefore, you're even allowed to drink from the wine just for Havdalah tonight. Regular wine you can't. But just for Havdalah, according to the Mishnah Brura, you could actually drink from that. It is noteworthy to point out that the Aruch HaShulchan in this Siman Oz Beis argues on this. The Aruch HaShulchan holds that you should not have the wine. So maybe, if possible, to have a grape juice, maybe. Could be any better, so to say, than wine.
Why not?
Aruch HaShulchan.
In my situation, I made Havdalah last night for my wife, and Rav Yossi said to use brewed coffee.
You made an actual Havdalah for your wife because she needed to eat because she just gave birth.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on. Just to clarify.
He said to use so what he said was to use that's what he said
Chamar Medina.
last night. So yeah.
Did you drink from her? Your wife drank from it.
Drank it, yeah.
She drank from it. So last night you do Chamar Medina. That was last night.
Different last night versus today.
Correct. Last night is different than today.
Tonight's
Correct.
grape juice.
Why not wine?
Why not wine tonight?
Last night.
We also don't eat meat. We also don't eat meat tonight. It's still,
For everything else.
I would say it'd be different than last night.
But I thought it's Steve. I thought that. So what? When does the meat and wine stop?
Maybe on toast, no? Tomorrow?
How did
Yeah,
it
tomorrow. No, tomorrow. Just
Tomorrow
tomorrow.
morning.
Just tomorrow.
It's
Yeah,
nidcha.
Why
tomorrow.
morning?
Because it's a nidcha. It's
Yeah,
not
tomorrow
11
morning is
o'clock
okay.
tomorrow.
What time?
Tomorrow morning's okay.
You wake up, chakras, bam, you're having hamburger.
Listen, I went to who's
What is wrong with
Noah Pidyon Ben for his son. They had eggs. It was in traditions, and they had pastrami and the eggs. It's like 9:30. What time was the Pidyon call for?
Like 9:15 in the morning.
It's like 9:15 in the morning. Where I'm already fleishik. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Pidyon Ben, Sudas Mitzvah. But a usual bris, we don't have basar.
Fast it's getting to the time.
Okay.
Why is it the
Yes,
wine and
Rahman.
meat goes through the night into the morning?
Right.
Why is the wine and meat goes to the morning, but nothing else really? Everything else is done by.
So we're going to see in Mitzvah Hashem, we'll get to Simin Safkov Nun Ches. We'll see him more.
How about you move my iron over here?
Right?
Wait, so
Okay.
I got this.
Yeah.
Why is it different last night versus today then? If both cases
Last night's more stringent. It's closer, yeah. It's right before Tisha Bav. I mean, it's
But if you're eating anyway, I mean, like, there's no difference. You know what I'm saying? In both cases, the meat is up.
Yeah. So we didn't have Havdalah
Why
right
can't
now.
you have grape juice then?
Yeah.
So last night, number one.
Last night, yeah.
Last night, number one, we just quoted, even during the 9 days, you should give it to a tinuk. The yayin from Havdalah.
Right.
Right over there, when it's on Tisha Bav. You're drinking on Tisha Bav.
Grape
It's much
juice,
more.
grape juice, not wine.
Okay, so then you try to have grape juice, yeah.
No, it was a Chama Medina last night.
It's Hamadina.
suggested that.
Because grape juice is similar to yayin.
So is it in 9 days or
It's more stringent than the 9 days because it's mamish Tisha Bav.
You're allowed to have grape juice.
Last night's much more stringent. Last night is Tisha Bav. Tonight's Motzi Tisha
You're
Bav.
allowed to have grape juice during the 9 days. So Isser on grape juice during the 9 days, it's just wine. isn't it?
Similar to wine though.
Similar. It's
not so simple.
During the 9 days, you're allowed to have grape juice?
What are you guys talking about? We're talking about during 9 days could you have grape juice? During the 9 days.
No.
Similar to wine. Similar
You
to
can't
wine.
have grape juice during the wine?
No.
Similar to
Really? Not during
Why
the
what?
9 days.
Yeah, you can. Similar to
Why?
wine.
You can't have for a 9 days.
Huh?
No, right?
Grape juice and wine are very similar in terms of a lot of halachas. Daled kosos, kiddush and Shabbos.
Oh, I'm confused. You're saying you're not allowed to have grape juice during the 9 days? That's what we're saying?
Yeah, pretty sure.
So on this week I couldn't have grape juice. So why am I allowed to have grape juice tonight? For Havdalah?
Because it's more lenient. Even wine you could have tonight, technically.
Ah. But you can't have meat tonight.
Yeah.
Is that just for the Havdalah or in
That's
general?
so confusing.
You can't even have wine tonight. Just according to this, according to the Mishnah Berurah, you could have wine just because it's for Havdalah.
Oh, just because Havdalah.
Stam, I want to not get drunk chas v'shalom tonight, but stam, I want to drink 2 cups of wine tonight. I can't do that. It's talking about just for Havdalah. And even when you do it on Havdalah, it's brought down, pretty sure of Harfinus brings us down in the Shalos and Chuvas Mekadesh Yisrael, that you don't want to have a full coat, so just have a revius. Just mamish what you need. That's it.
That applies for grape juice also, or just wine?
Yeah.
Grape juice, just have reviews.
Yes. Correct. What were you talking about before?
I was just asking just this Spanish.
Oh, Khamr Medina?
Yeah.
Khamr Medina is literally the drink of the country. It's a whole discussion exactly what Khamr Medina is. Bizmani, and it's in Halachos of Tisha Bav and Halachos Shabbos over there. Exactly what it is. The Achronim talk about it. Okay. That's this Indian over here. Good. Let's take a look now at Sifkat and Dalid. V'eina mevarach lo al ner. You don't make a bracha on the ner tonight. Afilu lo berach al ner b'motzi Shabbos. That's a chiddush. Even if you didn't make the bracha on the candle motzi Shabbos after Shabbos, still tonight we do not make a bracha on the ner. De'in mevarachin al ner el motzi Shabbos. That's the rule. We only make a bracha on the ner on motzi Shabbos after Shabbos bisman shenivra at the time that it was created, like the Gemara in Pesachim around the Nun Hey area, Nun Daled area. That's when it was created. That's the only time we do it. V'lo b'samim, we don't make a bracha on the b'samim sifkat and hay. The mishum nefesh yisera he gam kin b'moitzi Shabbos dafka. That because the nefesh yisera, extra soul, is also specifically on motzi Shabbos. Ukedleil b'simin reish sadi tes sefei, like it says over there.
What that's saying exactly.
So that's why we don't make it on b'samim on motzi Tisha Bav, because the concept of the nefesh yisera is only on motzi Shabbos. Now, there is a massive discussion. There's one major note to point out before we're Messiahing the Simon over here, and that is the following. Well, before we get to the major one, let's speak out the minor one to know how we should make Havdalah Halacha Lamaisa tonight. The Piskei Teshuvos brings in this Simon over here. Oz Beis. Others say this before him. Quotes others, Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, others. We do not say the psukim Hinei Kel Yishuasi, etc. Ella, we start from B'rei Pri Hagafen and then we go straight into Havdalah tonight. We do not say the Hineis. Why not?
You don't do that Yantav also. When you go into when you leave Yantav.
You don't?
Do you? You don't say Yantav?
Yeah, sure, yeah. We go from Yantif to...
You're saying we skipped the
I
Hineis?
think we skipped Hinei.
Is it Yantif? How'd you get here today? Did you drive? Or you walked in the 90 degrees outside? You drove? It's not a
It's not
Yantif.
the Yantif.
Why don't we say Hinei?
How can we say Hine for Havdalah during Yom Tov?
What?
Why don't we say Hine?
Well, we're not learning Halachos Yantif right now. Halachos Yantif.
Yes.
Tisha Bav. Halachos Tisha Bav.
Tisha Bav is Yom Tov, right?
It is? Not right now.
Because we're not going from Shabbos to Chol, we're going from going from like Chol to Chol.
So,
I have to do that up. I have no idea.
so the Mata Ephraim in Siman Sof Kuf Pei Aleph brings these psukim. Oh, you saw this Mata Ephraim? Oh, very good. So these psukim over here, they're a Siman Tov, and it's for Hatzlacha. We don't have these types of inyanim on Tisha Bav for Siman Tov and Hatzlacha. That's one reason why we don't do it. That's what he wants to say. So we don't do the Hines, the Maisa tonight. Now, something which is incredibly applicable last night for the women. Again, come back to the women. Let's say someone that has nashim, mishi yesh bebeis nashim shin hoichim the beis hakneses. Let's say the women aren't going to shul. Bishleima, if the women are going to shul, they hear the B'rei Aish at shul, they're good. Say they don't go to shul. Just gave birth. They got children, they can't make it to shul. What happens with the bracha of B'rei Aish? So on this, Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach says, preferably, melachatchila, they should not make the bracha of B'rei Aish. Excuse me. Preferably, the husband should not be yotzei with the bracha of B'rei Aish in shul. El, the husband should make that bracha at home and motzi his wife. Where does that come from? Why should the husband make sure to motzi his wife? So there's a Be'er Halacha. The Be'er Halacha in Halachos of Tisha Shabbos over there, Siman Reish Sadi Vav Sivches, we quoted that sif before, in Dibur Hamaskul Lo, says that if women, the Be'er Halacha discusses, if women, even according to the Man the Amr that they're chayiv in Havdalah, which is a machlokes in and of itself, is Havdalah attached to Shabbos, thereby they would be chayiv or not, and then they wouldn't be. So even if you go like the Mahalach of Man da Amar that holds that they're chayiv in Havdalah, the Be'er Halacha discusses, they might not be chayiv in the bracha of Ner, in B'rei Aish. It's the Be'er Halacha over there. The Be'er Halacha's maskana is, it's Yoiser Nachon, Loimar L'kol Adeos, all opinions, in order to cover everyone, the correct thing is that we're going to hold that they're not chayiv in Ner. That's the maskana of the Be'er Halacha. They're not chayiv in that one bracha, even according to the Man Damar that they're chayiv in Havdalah. So, how do we hold? So the Dershu over there in Halachos Shabbos, and that's in footnote 34, as well as the Dershu in this location, brings Rav Yashav, Rav Chaim Kanievsky, Rav Moshe Feinstein, and his Zigros Moshe, that they're allowed to be moishek the chiyav upon themselves. Which means, technically speaking, they're allowed to make the bracha if they wanted to, of Ner. And that's what it is. He brings those rayas, but they're allowed to. So even a starker lashon in the Halachos Shalom from Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach in Perek Tes Vav Vos Yudalid, who brings that on Tisha Bav Shechal Yos b'Motzei Shabbos, if the husband already made or heard of Havdalah in shul and was yotzei through that, kenahug, he says Tevarach ha'isha laner ba'atzma, she herself should make the bracha. That's where Shlomo comes out, and Shlomo Zalman, and he brings in the footnote. It's similar to Purim in the case of if it fell out in this case, or she would make it. So it's a similar zach. So it comes out l'maskana that if this wasn't done, if the husband didn't make Havdalah for her, and she didn't go to shul and hear it, so then Mustama should make the bracha herself. It is a discussion though. It is a big discussion, especially if she's always makbid not to make Havdalah.
Why is a woman not allowed to make Havdalah? It's preferred
Because according to the svaras that she's not chayiv. All the svaras that brought in that location, Reish Adivav Sivches, if you look it up, you'll get all the svaras in depth over there.
So what is she chayav in? She has just
She could make if she needs. That's what we're saying. That's how we're coming out. That's who we're quoting right now. Yeah.
What is she chayav in? Does she just have to say Baruch Hamavdil and that's it?
Where in general on Shabbos?
Yeah.
Well, she's going to hear Havdalah from the husband. This is just to clarify. If she can't hear Havdalah from anyone, or if she lives alone, she makes Havdalah on her own. Motzei Shabbos.
No problem.
Yeah, and Motzei.
She's divorced. She's
Yeah.
single, whatever.
Yeah. Almana.
mother.
by themselves. Whatever. All right. That's the simon over here. Any questions, comments, and anything with this simon? It's a short simon, but it's long when you learn it up. This is mamash shayla that happened. That this exact case, wife didn't make havdalah, didn't hear in shul, and the husband already made. What's the din? So this is it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Stop the simon. Okay.